And welcome back to the Mustang recap. We've got SMSU Valorant Brown played last week, and they played on Haven very first map, and they played a new composition for them: Omen, Jet, Cypher, Sova, and Gecko. On the other side of things, Breach, Cypher, Sage, Astra, and Jet. It's a pretty interesting match. SMSU had a lot of new executes that they brought out on the Haven map.
There was a lot of good plays. You know, we saw a lot of plays come out from our nice man Alex. You're playing as Jet. We had a Hudson who was playing Omen, I believe, who had some really good plays. And we saw the Gecko come out too with Zero there. Jaden, you know, he had some really nice plays with the little man. You know, getting some plants down, getting some diffuses.
For sure. Yeah, SMSU go on to win that Haven map 13-5. And then I believe map 2 was on Bind. SMSU has had more experience playing Bind with the Valorant Brown team. But it is, again, another new composition for them, as they've been really working with their compositions, really working on new characters. So they were playing Raze, Cypher, Breach, Fade, and Brim.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to see. I can't remember. I just lost her name. The goth looking chick. You know,
Fade?
There you go. It was really interesting for me because I've never seen that character come out before. And seeing her kit and her util and how it's used was really unique and interesting.
Yeah, another information-based character, kind of like Sova, but gets the information in a little bit different of a way. So it's really interesting to see the comparison between the two. SMSU playing the Sova on Haven, and then the change-up, the same type of character, getting it in the other way on Bind. Fade typically works quite a bit better on Bind, so that's why you tend to see that. On the other end, we saw Raze, ISO, Brim, Gecko, and Chamber, so quite a bit different of a composition come out from their opponents. That Chamber, that ultimate, can be really impactful on Bind. A long-range sniper coming out from him. ISO being able to isolate some 1v1s. We saw ISO is doing really well on their side, but SMSU were able to hold strong through the series, and they won that series 13-6.
Yeah, SMSU really didn't. They really did their best to not give power to like that Chamber, and there was multiple ops that came out, and they just didn't really give those weapons those power that they need in those long range corridors.
Yeah, and they kept that economy under pressure, getting a lot of round wins early and making sure that they couldn't buy those ops very often. SMSU with a pretty commanding 2-0 in the series, and we're going to go ahead and jump into some clips from that series right now.
Weak side picking up with that. Was that Outlaw?
Yeah, Outlaw very strong. And just holding this angle, waiting for him to get pushed. Knows one's on site now. Gonna check the other side. Maybe not expecting this.
There we go.
Third.
Gets a third.
Gets a fourth.
Fourth. There we go. Acrylic there to really wrap it up.
Jet looking aggressive with the ult.
Ooh,
Really
fumbles.
wins that one as well.
Ooh,
Judge
that
wins
fight.
that.
Oh,
that's a big ult. Acrylic gets 2.
Gets
Three.
3.
Oh, I think he saw his head.
They know.
Under a little bit of pressure. 4 versus 4 now.
Oh man, you got the plan.
Weak side dies for free. It was really aggressive play.
There we go. Those ones there.
Hudson goes big here.
There we go.
3.
Yeah.
Wow. Right away here. Would like to see Ray's ult used here. There it is. Ray into heaven and finds a kill with it. Finds a second. SMSU really want to close this one.
Big money, big money. Come on.
Now they get the information that he's pushed out.
Little bit. There you go.
There we get it.
30 seconds
Yeah,
left.
I think Machadi is just figuring that out. Finds that kill. Finds
Ooh, gets
another.
2.
Spike
Huge.
down
That is
A.
massive.
One
There we go.
enemy.
Hyena
Find
gets
a
a kill
third.
too.
And now Machadi knows the other one is there. Gonna use a prowler to force him off.
We found one.
And just give up the blind, comes onto site.
There we go.
SMSU, they find 2. They lose 1 though.
I know exactly.
And now a 3 versus 3 on site. SMSU
Chatty
win
getting
that
no
one.
pick there.
Astra, just the last one left, and SMSU, they take it, and they take the map. Full flash.
Double flash.
Krillic finds 2. Bomb plant, and 1 more. Just 2 people left. SMSU, they know where they are. They find 1.
Chatty gets a pick there.
And that's it.
That's it.
Wow, look at those clips from the Valorant Brown team. Very nice plays, a very commanding series win from them. As we move on to League of Legends here, SMSU played last week as well, and they played Mundo, Sejuani, Vex, Smolder, Lux in the first game.
And then the opponents, they had Gwen, Briar, Silas, Jinx, and Rel.
Yeah, very interesting team compositions coming out here. SMSU playing that Lux in the Lux Smolder in the bot lane, very oppressive lane, and they were able to take over the game very early. They got a lot of kills from those Lux double binds coming out. On the other end, Jinx, Rel, good late game scaling characters, but they didn't have the impact that they were hoping for. SMSU did win the first game in a pretty commanding fashion. The Smolder able to build up those stacks. The Vex able to get a lot of pressure. And the Sejuani finding a lot of good team fights, a lot of objective control from SMSU in that first map. As we move on, SMSU played in map 2, and the Ahri went unbanned this time. So SMSU picked the Garen, Amumu, Ahri, Smolder, and then the Seraphine as the Lux was banned from Series 1.
And then, MSU White went with a similar lineup, but they changed it up just a little bit. We had Grog, Briar, Talon, Jinx, and Rel.
Yeah, and we really saw that Talon got a lot of pressure early game, but SMSU were able to shut down that Talon and make it feel like he didn't have a lot of opportunities to find picks onto the SMSU team. They win map 2, 24-14 kill-wise. So a big kill gap in that next SMSU. Again, they were able to control the objectives this whole series and make a lot of big plays. And we will jump right into the highlights from that League of Legends game right now. Jinx Seraphine is living for now, getting into the bush. Very nice play as Boar
Jinx
comes
gets
in.
that speed boost now.
SMSU, they're teleporting Ahri in, and they're finding the Jinx.
There's
There's
the
Jinx
Jinx.
dead. Rel gets taken out.
Talon's here
Talon.
out of nowhere, apparently. I don't know when Buddy popped
We'll
up.
see that ult is really good. It picks up the Smolder.
Yeah.
Wall.
Does have it.
SMSU, they
Oh,
find an
barrier.
engage on. But the flash barrier comes out from Jinx.
Smart against
Ooh, Ahri hits the charm. Should be able to finish the Talon.
And
Is able to.
dodges the Q. Oh, that's actually his E, I think.
Yeah, that's a big deal for SMSU. SMSU, I'm surprised they're not more committed to this. And here is the commit. SMSU
Gets
picking
the
up
Q
the Jinx,
off.
Gets
The
shield.
shield.
Should
Here comes
be
the
enough.
root.
Should be enough as Krillic hits everything.
And gets his ult off. Wow.
Wow, yeah, that was very well.
Oh, wait, but Talon's there.
A little too late now, I think.
And the teleport is gone.
There's the teleport.
Oh, here it comes.
There's the Seraphine.
And he stole it! And he stole it! Oh my God! And they get one! They get two!
Oh my gosh, I didn't even see the goal. I thought it would have been up by now.
Otherwise,
But he did use it on the Baron.
Oh, what a stun
there's
here.
A nice engage. Yeah.
Here comes
right
the E
onto
now.
Jinx.
Gets the huge Q off, and Jinx dead.
Jinx dead.
Here comes another stun. And two stuns.
The
Gets
Seraphine
two.
ult as
Three.
well. SMSU, they
my
find
God.
everything, and I
Oh
think this might.
Jinx is not a factor in this fight. Oh, here comes Briar going in
Briar.
on Devoted. We gotta save Devoted. Come on, boys.
Weak side getting chased down by the Gwen, just trying to disengage here on the
Misses
Smolder.
the E.
Doing a lot of damage, trying to finish off this Briar. Does
It
get the kill.
does.
Now here comes the chase from SMSU.
Comes the root, gets it. Now Jinx is in a scramble. My God, bro. It's my bedtime. That's my
Bragas
excuse.
looking for
Oh,
the engage
gets
there.
the airborne. Already know all. You bore me's in the back
Ooh,
line.
they
Gets
might
a
be able to
huge
get this.
stun.
There's
Gets
one.
one. Does have a
There's
stun for
2.
two.
There's 3. Oh, team
Here comes
over.
Moto ult.
And here comes Sejuani in for the engage and
gets-
devoted. SMSU, they're going to find
Wow, Silas
One.
is still alive. Gets
going
the
to find
Silas.
2 here as the
3,
Briar gets taken out, and 3, 4.
4,
And SMSU, they're
Come
going to run him
on.
over.
5. That should be game.
All right, welcome back. We just got done watching those clips from the league. Those players really showing why they're on that team, really, doing some great things. Now we're going to transition to talking about CS2 and how those games went.
Yeah, SMSU playing on Mirage is their map pick, with Bebster and Yang at halftime leading the scoreboard with 13 kills each.
Yeah, and then you got Krish down there with 11-9, really getting some kills in there. And we got TF2 up there with 9, and then Frozzy down at the bottom with 3. But, he's still getting there. He's still got his assists, still participating.
Yeah, a lot of damage dealt by Frozzy, even though he was lower on the kill participation. A lot of that comes down to utility usage and where he's being allocated on the map. Sometimes you get put in a position where it's not really on you to get the kills for the team. And SMSU go on to win that Mirage map 13-3 with a very, very solid performance from all of SMSU. And we had Dust 2 for the second map with some phenomenal performances coming out. SMSU starting off 6-0 with Bebster 16 kills and 0 deaths to start off that map.
That is really impressive. I imagine that's very difficult to do. And I'm sure he had some crazy plays that we're going to see,
Yeah, I think we'll see those highlighted in the clips. As SMSU, they continue having success on Dust 2, and they end up winning the map 13-1. Bebster had, I think, 24-ish kills on that Dust 2, so slowing down a little bit as the map progressed, but 24 kills, still a lot of kills for a single map, especially one with only 14 rounds.
Yeah, for sure. He's up at the top there. It says 22-3, and the Yang below him is 14. I think that says 8.
Yep.
Yeah, so he was really feeling that map. He was really feeling that game. Really popping off. Yang and Krish both getting some nice kills in. TF2 down there at the bottom, but I'm sure he still had his purpose. He was still doing what the team needed.
I mean, what do you do when Bebster's up there taking all the kills in the first half? There's not a lot to do. It's just walk behind and say, congratulations. But SMSU go on to win the series 2-0, winning both Mirage and Dust 2, and we'll jump right into those clips right now. Versus 2. Nice.
1v1.
He's going to isolate the kill. That's very, very well played. I thought when he fell down, versus 2 now. They do get that kill. They get it, and they can pick up that gun. Now they just have to play a little defensive. That HG might do work. Oh, he's so low.
8 HP in a dream. However, is op more important?
I think op is more important. I think we're going to see the save come out, and the save attempt is going to come out. But look at that, and SMSU
Nice.
pick it up. Yeah, they need to find some success. I would like to see like a catwalk push. Put some big pressure on SMSU.
Yeah.
Maybe I would have put Trek. Oh, wow. These shots are just landing.
They're not making
What
it hard
is
for
going
Krish.
on? Nice shots coming out. Oh, I thought he had it.
MSU not slowing down though. Going to be coming through here fast on the B site. Yagi and Tater with 1. Yang in a position to get 2.
Yeah, just pointing the edge of that smoke perfectly. Gets 3. Gets 4.
Now what do we say? He's good for what?
All right, welcome back from those clips. We saw some great plays coming out there from the CS2 team, and now we're going to talk about Overwatch, my game. You can even see my name. Well, actually, you can't. I can see my name. But anyways, we're going to talk about our lineups here and what we got going on. So on the SMSU side, we have OG Channy as Genji. We had Darkness Luna as Tracer. Apex Mystic as... I'm blanking. Arissa. And then there's me playing as Ana and Trash as Juno. And so we're kind of feeling that, that dive comp a little bit, which means we're going to be diving into the enemy team, trying to get some, like, a pick or two and really destabilizing their structure and maybe pushing them out of positions. On the other team, we have a Reaper. We have a Kiri, Mauga, May, and Juno. We're seeing like the Kiri and the Junos are very staple support picks, and we see a lot of Mays coming out.
Yeah, especially on Oasis, a little bit more of a brawl comp coming out, so a little bit different compositionally coming out from both teams. But both teams putting a lot of pressure on the opponent's backline, so the support's got to make sure they're staying safe. SMSU do win the first round of control. No, actually, they lost the first round of control.
We lost the first one, and then we won the second one. Changing up the comp a little bit, I personally switched to, like, Moira, and then I believe in that same game I probably switched off, and both me and Trash swapped. He went Ana, and I went Juno, because the Juno is a necessity on the team with the amount of healing that can be put out. And Ana was very essential with the anti-heal and her ultimate being able to really give, let's say, Apex Mystic, that boost he really needs to win a fight.
Yeah, for sure. But on the other end, we saw some compositional changes as well. The Winston coming out, the Tracer coming out, the Venture coming out. Couldn't remember her name for a second there. SMSU do take a map 2, and then we go on to round 3 of Control, where SMSU switches their composition quite a bit. The Junkrat, the May, the Ramatra, the Juno, the Ana coming out from SMSU. The Reaper, Brig, Mauga, May, and Juno coming out on the other end. SMSU do win in a really tight overtime control map.
That map specifically was very intense. I know I was having a hard time getting my foot, in the door and being able to, really contribute and get what I needed to be getting done. We struggled a lot with that map. But we ended up finding the comp that we needed, and we were taking that high ground and really, making the plays that we needed to be playing.
For sure. And then SMSU move on to Kings Row, their opponent's pick, but honestly, what feels like home territory for the SMSU Overwatch team. It's a map they play quite a bit, and they started on the defense side where they played Symmetra, Echo, Ramatra, Juno, Ana. And on the other end,
on the other hand, we got Reaper, Kiri, Ramatra, May, and Juno. Again, seeing that Juno coming out, that Kiri, that Reaper, that May, all just very common staple picks and lineups.
Yeah, I think very similar compositions. I mean, we have the duo Ramatras, we got the duo Junos, so they're going for very similar things.
Yeah, it's Kings Row. We love Kings Row. We immediately we're going Kings Row, no matter what. That map though was very intense for us. It was very close on both attack and defense. That Echo ended up coming out very, very big towards the end. With her ultimate, because we needed to stop them. We were trying to get them to stop before hitting that second point, and we were getting a little flustered because we didn't want to lose that point, or we didn't want to give up that point. And I told Daniel, I was like Daniel, take that. You're playing Echo, transform into Juno and use the Juno ult, because that's gonna win us. That should win us that fight, because that Juno ult is so strong.
Yeah, it is.
And so if that actually turned into the round-winning play, using that Juno ult, because it gave Apex Mystic that damage, and it gave our DPS players the damage they needed to really make a push that ended that round.
Yeah, for sure. And then on the attack side of Kings Row, SMSU changed a little bit. They moved to the Tracer, to the Diva, Moira, Juno, and the Cassidy, and really going for a lot more aggression. We saw SMSU have a lot of success right away on their attack, and then they got kind of stuffed for a while, and it was starting to look like SMSU might all of a sudden run out of time, but they do find the fight necessary in order to get it pushed past where their opponents were on Kings Row, so they go ahead and take that map. And then SMSU, they move on to push, leading the series 2-0, where they end up falling on Coliseo 1-0. And push is just a really hard map for the Overwatch team.
Yeah, it was that. So that map sucked. It sucked quite a bit because the other team, they pull out a Sombra, which on the push maps there's a lot of space, there's a lot of room, and there's a lot of lanes to go through to get a nice flank in. So I know I personally struggled. I even got killed out of spawn once from that Sombra. And I know OG Chaney also struggled with that a little bit. We just couldn't find a solution for that Sombra and couldn't deal with her really effectively, and she kind of tore us apart.
Yeah, and that's kind of the map that she does accelerate in. You know, it's a really difficult character to deal with on that map. And then SMSU move to Flashpoint in map 4, where they play a pretty brawly comp on that Cassidy, Tracer, Diva, Brig, Juno. You know, a lot of brawl coming out from that. And that's very good at Flashpoint typically. These control maps that go a lot quicker, brawl tends to be more active at being able to get on site.
Yeah, for sure. And the opponents, they pulled out a Tracer, Kiri, Ramatra, Sombra again, and a Juno. So they pulled out that Sombra again, you know, because they saw that success with push, and they wanted to, you know, try and capitalize on that again. But I think, you know, I played the Brig, because Brig is kind of my comfort character. I play a really good Brig. I have a lot of hours into Brig, and that Brig ended up being very important with this map. I know I had high damage and really high healing. It was so essential with the close quarters, and you know, being able to, I can go in and I can 1v1 a support, or I can go in and just like I can run their backline down. Yeah. And my ultimate really allows me to support the team and give them like that extra armor, that healing. And it also kind of negates that Sombra a little bit, because then I can kind of compete with that Sombra and deal with her effectively.
For sure. Yeah, SMSU, they go on to win that New Junk City 3-1, and that is the end of the series. As they take the series 3-1, we will go into our clips.
Oh, dude, going up. I don't know why I said his name like that.
There we go.
Gets one.
Pew, 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 pew,
Critical goes
Oh,
down.
Jenny on a rampage. Let's get it, big dog.
He's trying to kill Ramatra now.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh!
My man
Oh my-
did her and Winston alive. Can't really do a whole lot with that.
How did Mystic kill 3 of them?
Because he's goaded. I don't know.
Fair enough.
OJ taking
Chaney
down
gets a huge
one.
pick.
There goes 3.
Oh, pew, 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 pew. Okay.
Alright.
Come on, you should have kept that angle, brother.
Oh!
Oh! Ow! Oh.
He's gonna
Used.
He's gonna type it and then like put it on our screen because we can't hear him still.
Oh, big anti.
Big anti.
holy.
Ramatra is
Mystic
still
might
alive.
fall. I can't even see his health bar.
Oh, there comes the ult though.
Big ult.
Wait,
Gino.
he gets him killed. Wait, gets now. Next game could
Let's
be
see. Play the
it.
game from Chaney. I know this one. I knew it. I know it. I know it.
Okay.
Check this out. This was sick. This ends now. Pew.
You just
Pew.
spam that and you
Pew.
win.
Pew. 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 Oh my goodness, that guy just shoots like 5 people. That was awesome.
Can we check his computer?
Can you guys hear this?
Can I do it? Yes. I can hear that.
It's loud. Trash getting a little sauce in the loss right now.
Oh, Trash does.
I'm not 100% sure if playing that far up on a character
They're
with
just delaying time.
infinite range. Oh, respect. Oh, the Reaper.
Wait.
High ground. We're gonna pop the Kiriko wall.
It's kind of a bad ult, but it gets him onto side, I guess.
Yeah, it's an okay ult. I think. Oh, whoa! The S. Oh, come on, chap. Bop, 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 bop. Oh, Chap
Wait,
is
Chap?
is like shooting fish in a barrel, except if he had him, if you're whatever.
My man
Yeah,
bite
this,
in
I
the
mean, this is
middle of
obviously
it.
play of the game.
Yes, sir.
Watch, he's just gonna like one-shot 4 squishies at the same time. Boom, boom. Okay, maybe not one shot. Okay, now he one-shot the Brigitte.
Like, he's literally
He
like...
one-shot the other guys, too.
Most of them were looking away from him. This is a great play of the game. Hey, being a problem.
Okay.
Ooh,
Ooh, SMSU
they
losing
trade.
another one.
They
Jewel
trade.
coming out like a wee little bit late.
That was
That
unnecessary.
was kind of dirty. That was a little dirty.
That was a little
You didn't have to do it
unnecessary.
to him, my trash.
Oh,
Or
really
Chap,
did
who
it
is
to
that?
him.
No, it's Chap. You didn't have to do that.
And
Ooh,
there goes
sniped.
my... Oh, heating up. He's on fire.
Trash and Luna both low.
It's about to call
Do
911.
we? Where is our other support? Where's Chap? Am I dumb?
Yes. But Chap's
Is
right
Chap
there.
not healing there?
There he is.
Chap must have been getting pressed that whole time.
Ooh, what
nice
a...
shots.
Wow.
Local support picks,
Ooh,
nothing too
anti-ed.
crazy. Could be a big anti-lamp comes out, Mayblock
yeah.
comes out. Looks
Teeth.
like they might want to start focusing the May now that the defensive tool is out of the May's hands.
Wait.
Oh, and OJ in the
He
back
jumps
running a
into the
pick.
back, gets a pick, gets
Found
two.
another one. Oh my goodness! This guy's a Genji Prodigy!
And thank you for watching the Mustang recap. We're going to jump into our interview coming up with Alex Fortsman here, and that will be ready in just a minute. All right, welcome back to the interview part of the podcast. After we got done watching those great clips, we're here with Alex Fortsman today. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Alex Forsman. I'm a senior at SMSU right now, and I've been an alumni for about 3 years, and I moved to Marshall about 3 years ago to come to college here. I major in psychology, and yeah, it's been a pretty good time.
Why did you choose psychology? Are you like trying to do like psychological warfare?
No, I choose psychology. I was like 16 years old, and I kind of just picked something and ran with it. I don't have like an insane passion for psychology, but I do like it. I'm glad that I picked it. For
Alright.
sure.
That's good. That's good. That's good. When did you start playing video games competitively? Did you grow up playing a lot of video games, or is it something you picked up in high school and college?
I started playing video games when I was I guess I started playing. The first video game I ever played was Final Fantasy X for the PlayStation 2. Greatest game of all time, by the way.
Very solid.
And that was when I was like 8 years old. And I played God of War, like God of War 1 and 2 on the PS2 as
We
well.
love God of War.
Yeah, and those two games were like the foundation. Then my dad bought me a crappy laptop, and I played a lot of roguelike games like The Binding of Isaac and Crypt of the Necrodancer and Slay the Spire. And then eventually my friend got me into League of Legends, which ended up consuming my life quite a bit. Me and League have a very strained relationship because I used to be really addicted to League of Legends. Like I would have dreams about it. Ugh, it was terrible.
For sure, for sure. And I know you said you're majoring in psychology here. What do you see yourself doing after graduation?
I'm hoping to do research, like psychological research kind of stuff. Hopefully looking at like the medical uses of like psychedelics and like the way that we sense and perceive things. But I don't know if that'll like actually happen. That's kind of my like where I'm like looking right now. But I'm not entirely sure if that'll be like a viable option for a career. But we'll see. Hopefully.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So League of Legends went 2-0 this week, taking on MSU White. How's the team feeling after that series?
Pretty good. The vibes are very high on the league team this semester. We've got a couple new members. They're really cool. And you know the returning members we're vibing really hard. We have a lot of fun with the game. Which is whoa, I know, crazy having fun playing League of Legends, but we do have a lot of fun. We're all pretty, I would say we're pretty good friends.
For sure. A pretty laid-back team, if I want to add some context there. SMSU League of Legends, they took the series in a pretty commanding fashion, with SMSU controlling objectives in both games, setting up a lot of macro plays. Is that something that the League of Legends team is focusing on more in practices, or is it something that's coming a little bit more naturally?
It's something we're focusing on with practices quite a bit. I think we could focus on some other things too. I think itemization is kind of a big point with some of is a point with some of our players that I think we should focus on, and I think some micro things like certain mechanical things could improve our play a lot on like a smaller scale. But I think overall, obviously the macro is a lot more important in the grand scheme of things. I think it'll lead to winning more games. So that is what we've mostly been focusing on.
You played Smolder in both games during the series, hitting that final breakpoint in both games. We have seen you put on the Smolder a lot over the course of the season. Do you think that Smolder is just really strong right now, or does SMSU just play well when you're on a kiting late game scaling champion? Or do you just like that character because they're fun to play?
I think Smolder actually is pretty bad. Like in general, but I think specifically he's bad in like a solo queue environment, but I think which is more uncoordinated than the competitive environments that we're in. But in this competitive environment, I think a champion like Smolder provides a lot to the table because he provides a big safety net for our team to kind of, hold back or fall back on. Because even if we, lose a fight or lose an objective, it's like no big deal. We have a Smolder and, he's stacking like crazy. And I feel like I've been able to, optimize my stacks a lot as Smolder. And I think Smolder doesn't have a lot of depth to him in general. I think just this optimizing your stacks and having good team fight positioning is pretty much all you need to do as Smolder to succeed. And I think that's something that, for me personally, has been really easy to execute. And yeah, it just leads to a lot of, late games. Everybody plays slow because we're in a competitive environment, a coordinated one. So there isn't a bunch of like coin flip 50-50 plays that late game characters usually don't like to see. So it's been a pretty good pick, even though it's not so good in solo queue.
For sure. On the other hand, we see Ari come out for Devoted Darkus again in this series, continuing the trend of playing one game and Ari popping off and having abandoned the rest of the series. We've seen this become a signature champion for Devoted over the last year, often having major breakout performances. What's the energy like in the team when we get Ari locked in for SMSU? Does it give SMSU like a lot of confidence to have these massive fallback champions that perform almost every time we play them?
I honestly don't know how Diego does that. Ari's like okay, but I think it's just like it's more than anything. It's like he plays Ari like a solid rank above any of his other champions, just because he has so much time on her and he's so comfortable with Ari. And I think that's kind of just what it is. I also don't think Ari is a champion you see a ton of nowadays. I don't think she's like extremely popular, so I think people might have a tough time playing against her. Especially when she has resets, and she has great cleanup in fights, and she has good CC. She's honestly a very solid champion. But it is surprising you don't see more of her outside of Diego playing her.
Are you excited by any of the changes that have been happening around League of Legends? Excited to see any returning or new runes? How do you feel about the new season?
New season is okay. I'm pissed they removed my two favorite minor runes in the game. They removed Futures Market, which was really good, and I can't remember the other one. They removed it was Futures Market and Minion Dematerializer, dude. They're some of the most unique runes, and they were the only reason I would go in the inspiration tree on any champions. And now they're just gone, and it's like I got a hole in my heart,
Gotta love those season balance changes.
But besides that, it's actually a new split. It's not technically a new season. But this new split, I really like what they did. They lowered the overall gold efficiency on every item in the game, and they tweaked a lot of sort of wonky numbers when it came to items. And I think that actually cleaned up a lot of the game and slowed it down a little bit, and allowed a lot of characters more room to breathe instead of just getting one shot by everything, which has been an issue that League has had for 5 years now. It's been pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, they did a big durability patch, and that helped. And then they started just buffing every champion's damage again, because a lot of champions didn't feel so good to play because they lost a lot of damage. But now it feels different, and I'm not entirely sure why. I think removing power from items helped a lot. I think items were way too strong in general.
For sure. And you've been in the esports now for a while at SMSU, originally just a League of Legends player, but now joining Valorant Brown team last year. If you had to give one reason why you love being involved in the esports team, what would that be?
I love video games, and I love so video games are obviously a hobby of mine and a lot of people's. And I think taking video games, which is usually just something you do for fun, and making them something more than that, where you feel a sense of accomplishment for actually being good at video games and playing video games. I think that really makes the esports program at SMSU a lot of fun, and it makes it feel very rewarding, especially when you catch some dubs and then Spencer brings you out to eat and he pays for it, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, I know it's awesome.
Valorant Brown has also got a win last week. How does it feel to have such a dominant week taking the Valorant and League of Legends game 2.0?
Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. The vibes are pretty high, and that's honestly all I have to say. I don't think we've really had issues with having really terrible seasons that we lose every game in. So this is kind of winning games is pretty natural, and it's feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for us to have 2-0 weeks, but it does feel good to have both line up at the same time. Game 1, you were on Jet. You dropped 17 kills and a 13-5 win on Haven. I know the team has been practicing a lot of executes on Haven. Do you feel like the team was able to take these executes we learned in practice and implement them in this map?
Yes, I think we did a very good job of that. I also think we did a very good job of taking those executes and changing certain things up and improvising them in order to counter enemy utility. Like something in practice that we went over the executes, but we didn't really go in a real game and practice the executes before the game. So we would do the executes, but we wouldn't be playing against Cypher trips or other Sentinel utility. And I think actually playing the game, I think we did a really good job of countering that utility when it came up and not just folding when it was something that we didn't go over in practice. I think we did great improvisation.
For sure.
Yeah, Valorant Brown has a large roster with 7 players on the team. Due to this, you were subbed out in Game 2 to give another player an opportunity to play. How hyped were you when you were watching the team in Game 2? Is it exciting to see the team performing even when you're not in the lineup? Because you were kind of a staple point in that first game with all those kills, making a lot of game-defining plays.
Yeah, Game 2, sometimes you're watching and you're like, ooh, I wouldn't have done it like that, you know what I mean? But other than those situations, it's always fun to watch the team play. Everybody kind of has their own individual things they do when they play, and I think it's interesting to really analyze and watch those, and everybody plays differently, and I think it's a really fun experience to, check it out.
For sure. Yeah. And as we wrap up this interview, is there anyone you want to shout out to? Anything you want to mention for the SMSU esports fans at home?
No, I don't think so.
Well, then thank you for coming on and doing this interview. And thank you guys for watching the esports Mustang recap. And we will have another one out next week, Monday. So tune in then. Thanks.
Night-night.